The worst nightmare anybody could have in their life. And I don't want any human being to go through the pain and the agony which I had in my life.
I don't have anything left. I don't have any money. And I don't know what will be my next day.
I've lost everything actually. Those memories, that damage cannot be recovered. And my mental health damage, oh my God, I can't sleep. I can feel that.
Even now I can't see the darkness. If I'm in a closed environment, I'm so scared. I get panic attacks. I'm still suffering.
I grew up in Bangladesh, and most of my education has been done in Dhaka. That's the capital city. And my parents always had this dream to make me educated, especially under British curriculum. Charles Dickens is my favorite writer, and because one of his books, David Copperfield, which I actually read 3 times. And the most important thing which attracted me from that book is, after all these hardships, a boy, David Copperfield, he overcome all his hardships with hard effort, but with honesty as well.
Well, I belong to a middle-class family, and where my dad and my parents who are really hard-working. Then I was preparing myself after college to come to London to study. So I had to pass an English language test exam as well, and I used to listen English songs, and that's where I used to learn and pick up the words.
I'm from India, one of the southern states of India called Kerala. I was brought up in a middle-class family. I did my engineering from Mangalore University. Mangalore University is a very famous university in India. Microsoft's CEO had studied there.
I born in Dhaka, capital of Bangladesh. English language. I watched from the childhood the Hollywood movie. Obviously, my favorite star is Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. It's a very quite well-known movies, Rocky Balboa, and Rambo as well.
Generally, in Pakistan, we start to learn English since we start to go school, because this is why in Pakistan you need English for become a good or successful person.
Even from a childhood, I wanted to come to London to study, to get the best education of the world.
Best thing is the education system of this country is amazing, which is all around the world.
I thought I will have a better reputation if I have a university degree from UK, and that's the reason I came here.
Monday morning, 5:45 a.m., around 15 to 20 officers came into my door, and they banged the door. When we opened, they came inside and they asked me for my ID, and I gave it to them. And when they look at my name, Raja Numan Hussain, then all of a sudden all the officers came onto my bed and they just surrounded and they standed around my bed, and I was asking, like, why is all this happening?
They banging my main door, came in and said, Mr. Amin, you need to go with us. We need to take you onto the detention center. So I said, what is the reason? So the one officer said, you did deception for the English language test.
I was actually campaigning for my classmates who are already affected with this English language test scandal. One day what happened, I went down stairs. So, and I asked them that, can you find out my class timings, which day is going to be? And then she said, actually, Waqar, there is bad news for you. And then she said, they have withdrawn me from the university.
I was walking through the Shepherd's Bush Green. I saw a police van coming, and we just ignored because we always see police van in Shepherd's Bush Green. But 2 police officers got out of the van and came to us and looked at me and said, "Are you Nitin Chand?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And they said, "You are under arrest."
They came with 15, 20 peoples all around my room, like I'm a criminal or something. So when I opened the door, so one of the guy, he said to me, "Mr. Islam, you're going to be arrested."
And then they put the handcuff, and then they arrested me, and then after that they detained me straight away.
So it was so like embarrassment for me, the way they treated me.
They took me to Hammersmith police station, and then they put me in the cell. I said, I'm claustrophobic, I have PTSD, please don't do this. And I was crying, and he said, "This is what you have to learn when you do mistake." I said, "I've not done any mistake."
The person I was kept with, and I asked him, "Why are you being detained for?" And he told me he actually murdered somebody.
The police officer came and asked me, "Would you like the immigration officer coming to the cell, or you have to wait?" I said, "No, I have to know as soon as possible, so please ask him to come." And then he came. As soon as I saw him, I hugged him, and because he was the only one could tell me what is the mistake and why I was there, and I didn't know why I was there. I just wanted to say that please don't believe the hearsay evidences. Please talk to me and just understand whether I can speak good English or not, whether I can write this test or not. Please tell me whether if I have to use a proxy to write this test. This was the reason I went to the parliament and I went everywhere to fight against this accusation on myself and for anyone.
The accusation is since then is totally untrue, unrealistic.
In the first place, before you get into the test room, you are checked by an inspector who is actually an independent inspector who is set by the ETS, who checks the passport and pictures. And then it was a lady that day, and she comes again when you're doing the test to check whether you are or not sitting in your own test table or not.
Even on the test center, they got the cameras, they got the teachers who was watching like how the test has been taking place. And even on that particular date, I still remember, there was a visit of UK border agency who came there and who actually looked at the exam, how it was taking place. They checked it and they said, okay, everything is fine.
And it was so easy, so straightforward. Anyone can do it with a little bit English experience. Me using a proxy is absolutely, I would say, it's a joke. And the sad part is there might be any evidence coming against you, but the officials must have taken another step, an academic scrutiny. They didn't interview me. They didn't allow me for another test, which they have done to many others.
If they have any proof, they should bring out. They should give me a proof. This is 4 years now. They keep saying, but they do not have any proof. So this is not true. If someone can say anything, you have to prove it.
I was actually in a prison for 4 years. Even though I was walking around, mentally, I was in a secluded place.
My father don't know the entire whole story, because he has got so much respect for British culture, and they will never believe it.
If we talk about my family, my parents, if I tell them I'm innocent, so they say, you need to prove yourself into the courts. Don't tell us you are innocent. If you're innocent, there's a UK got very good justice system. Why don't you go to courts and prove yourself?
My life has shattered, actually. Everything has changed that one day, and it's going on and on and on. It's not stopping.
I never ever thought this was happen, and still I'm being traumatized Still, I'm feeling depressed because of this decision. I had a suicidal attempt in 2 or 3 times.
I was even eventually researching the best way to suicide,
After, I had a feelings like an empty pocket, an empty stomach, and broken heart, and after a hopeless future. So, what could be the worst than these things? This is the worst thing I had in my life.
I won't be able to travel anywhere else in the world to complete my studies. If I apply for a student visa or any work permit visa, I will be most likely to be rejected.
Now, I don't have anything left. I don't have any money, and I don't know what will be my next day. I have to think every day what will be my next day.
I've lost everything actually. Those memories, that damage cannot be recovered. And my mental health damage, oh my God, I can't sleep. I can feel that.
Every day when I close my eyes, when I try to sleep, those days, the banging of the doors.
If I hear a rattling on the door, I used to get up and I used to cry with loud noise. It's so horrible. Even now I can't see the darkness. If I'm in a closed environment, I'm so scared. I get panic attacks. I'm still suffering.
Home Office, if they accuse me for anything, they should prove that. And if they're not been proven, let the judge decide and let the judge see the whole thing and the whole story.
Definitely something was wrong on the system, and I need to find out. And I need to prove myself I didn't cheat any deception or I was involved any kind of deception.
It's all about justice, natural justice. This has been done.
The worst nightmare anybody could have in their life. And I don't want any human being to go through the pain and the agony which I had in my life.
It is something happened which was so unexpected for me, and it took me into the dark, trying to come back or waiting for a sunrise, something like that.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way.